Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Bliss Lily here, and today we're going to be diving deep to take a look at the possible consequences of your current actions. So whatever healing you're doing right now, whatever it is that you're studying, the path that you're following, in this particular pick a card reading, we're going to be taking a look at the most likely outcome and the consequences of your current actions. It is, of course, a general reading, so keep that in mind. And only take what's going to resonate. You know the drill. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at today's options. Option number 1, you guys get the amethyst crystal. Option number 2, you guys get the pink quartz. And option number 3, sandstone wants to be your crystal today. So go ahead, take a look at the options, see which crystal you're mostly drawn to. Don't overthink it. If you do need a bit more time to make your decision, pause the video because we're going to go ahead and get started with option number 1. Hi guys, if you're drawn to option number 1 with the amethyst over here, let's go ahead and take a look at the rune as the most likely outcome for your current actions, the consequences of your actions. And you guys get the Algiz rune, and Algiz is all about feeling safe. It's all about feeling protected. So I do feel a lot of you guys might be working a lot when it comes to resolving the issues that cause you anxiety, okay? And it's not about just wishing things away. It's not about pretending that they're not there. You guys are actually diving deep. And you are doing the necessary work. You guys are doing a lot of shadow work in order to see what's actually causing you anxiety. It could be that for some of you, you guys might have done spiritual bypassing in the past. And I'm absolutely guilty of that as well. Only to come to realize that this isn't going to work, because it's like putting a plaster on a bullet wound. And here you're like, all right, I need to go in deeper. I need to face my, like, whatever's causing you anxiety. I need to realize what it is that I need to address in order to move forward. And I feel like for a lot of you, you felt like you needed some sort of guidance all of the time, or you felt like you needed some sort of reassurance or maybe some sort of validation. And I'm really happy to say over here, guys, that it does look like whatever it is that you're doing at this particular moment, whether it is therapy, whether it is shadow work, whatever it is that you're doing is actually going to make you feel much, much safer. Not in the sense that you're going to think that nothing is ever going to happen, because of course it is. We live in a real world. But in the sense that you know that you have the ability to deal with things, that you've grown, that you're wiser, that you're more prepared. And even if something unexpected happens, you still have the strength to deal with it in the best way possible at this time. Algiz also talks about being able to connect to your inner compass, your inner guidance. So it does look like you guys are going to be more aligned in the sense that you're going to know where it is that you want to go. Yeah, so this could be talking about career, this could be talking about the type of relationship that you're after. And I just feel like this energy where you guys are not trying to control a lot of things, and that gives you peace of mind. That really does give you a lot of peace of mind. So whatever it is you're doing, the consequence of this is you just having a much more peaceful life. You've come to realize that there's some questions that are never going to be answered, some questions that don't need to be answered, yeah? And some answers you're just going to realize that you kind of don't need them anymore. Because you're being connected with yourself, and you find safety, security, and peace of mind from your own experience rather than from something that's outside of you. I do feel for a lot of you guys, you're going to give up this pursuit of perfectionism, give up this pursuit of being the best version of yourself. Yeah, because you're going to realize that you always are the best version of yourself. And the best version of yourself doesn't mean that you have to be perfect, because perfection doesn't exist. So Algiz is very much the rune of feeling safe, feeling protected. It's a passive rune. So I do feel like you guys are going to kind of maybe take a step back and release a lot of things that you've been trying to do, maybe to please people or to prove something. And these are some really fantastic consequences for the decisions that you guys are going to be making now or making in the near future. And literally, I'm seeing some of you, you're like, what are you going to do? Like releasing some things. But there's definitely an energy of a peace of mind. Let me take a look at at my shadow deck to see what exactly you guys are going to release. I guess for a lot of you, it's finally allowing yourself to live in the here and now. Because a lot of you, there's this delayed life syndrome that's coming through very strongly, where maybe you kind of been waiting for your life to begin once something happens, once you get in a relationship, once you start feeling more fulfilled, once you, I don't know, get like married, once you move to another country, once you start being wealthy. And here you're like, you know, you realize that you can spend your whole lifetime waiting. And it could be with the Seven of Pentacles, is this energy of dissatisfaction, because dissatisfaction and perfectionism, they're very close together, yeah? So it's this energy, unless it's perfect, I can't be satisfied. And here with Algiz, it's the vibe where, again, the consequences of your decisions, the consequences of a different way of thinking about things, where you stop waiting for the life to begin. And you're being in the moment, you're being in the present, you're realizing that, you know, this is the time to be alive is now. Because we're not promised tomorrow. So you kind of released a lot of things. Yeah? And you did have this epiphany. But it was very different to the epiphany that you were promised by, I don't know, some sort of new age stuff. Yeah? Okay. What is it going to lead you to then? Yeah? Let's take a look. Where's my other deck? Let's talk to Lenormand. Oof. What is this? What is this? Yeah, you stop giving yourself the hard time, guys, honestly. With the whips over here, like, you see your own value. There's something about, like, the consequences of your decisions, the consequences of your current actions. You guys learn to see your own value, your own beauty. Like, you stop comparing yourself to others, right? You, like, there's this energy of releasing some sort of harsh boundaries. Yeah, with the whips over here. Because, you know, like, if you whip the lilies, what's going to happen? The lily is going to break. And I think that you kind of been trying to force things, force certain communication, force certain things. And here, like, you're like, I'm not going to force it. And most importantly, that you guys are not being hard towards yourself. So you're feeling much more relaxed. And it's affecting your communications big time. Yeah, so this show me that you guys, by letting go, that you're getting what you wanted by letting go of how you get there. So the initial energy that's coming through over here, that you guys wanted to feel safe, that you guys wanted to be secure, that you guys wanted to know where you fit in, where you belong, where it is that you're going, you're realizing that, again, some things we're just not meant to know. And that's cool. And that's okay. Maybe we're not meant to know them now. But here, like, the consequences of your actions, the consequences of your decisions, is you actually reach certain like milestones that you were headed towards, but in a different way. Maybe in a lighter way, in a more fun way. And there's definitely an energy of communication over here, where I feel that you guys are interacting with people more. So maybe if you felt like you had to go into the hermit mode and you had to talk to your spiritual team and you had to change your way in some way or other, here you're kind of interacting more with the living rather than the dead, rather than somebody who's in 5D or 12D. Yeah. And there's that beautiful energy of acceptance, where you are accepted as part of the world and you start accepting people for who they are. And it's a very mutual, beautiful thing. Okay, show me more. The consequences of your current actions. Lovely option number 1. It's, you know what, they also show me like this energy of growth, this energy of maturing, this energy of seeing things from a different perspective. Because a lot of the things that we have within ourselves, like a lot of grudges and blocks and all of those things, they come from our childhood. And even as we get older, we see those things still as a child. And here you're starting to see things from a different perspective. And you're no longer delaying your life. You're no longer, you know, it's like your parents sometimes tell you can play after you've done your homework. And this is kind of the algorithm that you adopted. Like you have to do something first and then you have to earn your reward. And here it's like different. Exactly. Look at this. You're walking away, guys. So the consequences of your actions, the consequences of your decisions, that they're actually leaving something, walking away. Some of you guys could be 27 and I'm hearing Jane, Janet. Maybe Mary, Mariah for some of you. Don't worry about the names. Sometimes the names just come through and, you know, maybe like, you know, this is the exact people that needed to hear their names today. If you've been wondering if this is the message for you. But yeah, for a lot of you guys, the consequences of your current actions and current decisions is where you're walking away. Yeah, and you're walking away from this place of seclusion, because they're showing me this energy of defense over here. And even though the fence was pretty, yeah, and you kind of stayed in your comfort zone and you kind of, you know what this reminds me of? When you keep trying to do the same thing over and over again, trying to expect a different result. And then you're like, and a lot of you, you've been pushing yourself. You've been taking away from yourself or punishing yourself subconsciously. Like talking about yourself in a negative way, like, why can't I just do this? Or why can't I understand this? And here you're just like, you know what, F it. I'm a human being. I'm a human being. And you're walking away from a lot of places, a lot of people, a lot of situations, and most importantly, mindsets that held you back, but promised to take you forwards. I'm going to say this again. You're walking away from beliefs that held you back in reality, but promised to make you go forwards. Okay, show me the consequences of this walking away. Are you finally going to get to where it is that you're going? Yeah, and look at this. You bring in the angel of balance, right? So this is very much the energy of when we have the peace of mind. Yeah, when we found our cure, when we found our, like we mixed the right ingredients to have our own beautiful healing potion. And they're telling me that this is going to be your own patented, beautiful cocktail, right? So maybe you've been trying to, again, follow somebody else's road or follow somebody else's rules, whether it's spirituality, religion, somebody else's advice. But at the end of the day, you find your own mix over here, right? And that's the way forwards. Because you found your mix, you found your calling, you found your healing. And it could be that you've taken little pieces from different religions, from different stories, from different experiences, from this type of healing, that sort of healing. And yeah, it feels like you're much more balanced in life. It's not that just your spirituality, but it's also your love life, it's also your abundance. And I really like that, because you guys are being shown over here as experiencing this cornucopia energy. And cornucopia energy is all about feeling that you have enough, that you have plenty. And the most important thing is that, you know, you're opening up energetically to receive this. So it looks like the consequences of your decisions, of your actions, it has a lot to do with you releasing a lot of blocks, psychological blocks, that had to do with being happy or having more. Yeah, and I talk a lot about fears of abundance, fear of happiness, fear of success. And this is what a lot of you guys might have been fearing. You always felt like you needed to be protected, and maybe you weren't given something in order to be protected. But in this particular case, that's not it. Like this idea of cornucopia, this idea of balance, it was scaring you. Because a lot of you guys could be, you know, there's this energy of a trauma bond that's coming through. But it's bringing you an energy where in life you feel like you have everything that you need and more. And what's more importantly, again, like I was saying, we release the blocks over here, but also you have the ability to enjoy it. And that's an art in itself. For people who are deeply traumatized, being able to enjoy the cornucopia energy, and I know a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about, it's an art in itself. And it looks like you guys are becoming amazing artists at that. So congrats, option number 1. It looks like you are on the right path. And you have a lot coming your way. Don't forget to claim the magical energy of this reading down in the comments below, guys. It helps the channel grow. It helps the universe see that you are claiming this energy. Yeah, I appreciate your support. I appreciate your kind words, your subscriptions. If you guys feel you would benefit from a personal reading, do send me an email. The email's in the description box below. So is the link to my Patreon page with more exclusive content where we dive even deeper, and additional discounts on those personal readings that I was just talking about. And yeah, make sure to take good care of your beautiful selves. Bye now. Option number 2. Hi and welcome to your reading, my darlings. If you were drawn to the pink quartz over here, let's take a look at your energies. So the consequences of your current actions. Let's take a look at which rune has chosen you today. The lovely rune of Gable. And so for quite a few of you, my darlings, there's this energy where from when you were little, you couldn't feel that you belong, right? There's a lot of guilt. For some of you, there's this energy of survivor's gift, guilt that's coming through over here. And it's interesting that I said gift, that you're not accepting this gift. A lot of you guys are not accepting your gift. Whatever your talent is, composing, you know, whether it's working with tarot cards, whether it's reading, writing, being able to see certain things. It's this energy of not accepting your gifts fully. And a lot of you, you're denying things and you're denying closeness with this Gable energy. But they're telling me that you're actually, one of your biggest life lessons in this particular incarnation is to be able to learn your value when you have nothing to offer. Okay, so maybe you've been conditioned to think that you're only lovable when you have something to bring to the table, right? I bet you heard this a lot, like, what are you bringing to the table? What are your talents? What can you give me in return? You know, it's like somebody was always asking something of you. And, you know, especially if it was money or if it was some sort of support and you feel like you can't give it, you feel like you're worthless. You feel like you're unwanted. And it could be that you guys withdrew, right? And you felt like deep down, you feel like I have nothing to offer. And my gifts are not, and it's not just romantic. I mean, this is talking about your career as well. You might have something like an imposter syndrome, where even when people tell you that you're really good at something, and when they compliment you, you're just thinking like, oh my God, don't get too close, because if you get too close, then you're going to realize that I'm not actually who you think I am. But the thing over here with this fantastic rune is when people come together, right? In romance, in work, in friendships, where they see the real you and it's more than enough for them. More than enough, because you don't see your energy, you don't see your beauty, you don't see your talents, you don't see your skills. You kind of disown yourself. Let me see why. Let's take a look at our shadow aspects. Why are you disowning yourself? Why are you... Like, you guys have such a beautiful heart. But I feel for a lot of you, you kind of put an X. You're like, oh, I'm not dating. I'm not going to find anybody. You know, I'm not... I don't know. It's just like you kind of put... You know, there's this concept of self-curse where we have a hard life and one bad thing happens after another bad thing, after another bad thing, and after another bad thing. And we ourselves, we're like, well, we're not bad people, so why does this keep happening to me? So a lot of people, they tend to go into this energy of like, I've been cursed. Like, I've been cursed. Like, this is the only explanation. And I feel like this is what could have happened to you, option number 2, where you feel like you've been cursed. And the concept of self-curse is when our subconscious mind, when we start to believe in something really, really strongly, our subconscious mind works on keeping that idea or that illusion alive. So you kind of started attracting a lot of things to keep this energy of self-curse alive. But I want to tell a lot of you guys that you're not cursed. Really not cursed. There's no black magic on you. It's just that sometimes really bad things happen to good people. But here, they're telling me that the consequences of your current actions, in one way or another, they're leading you towards family, towards acceptance, towards healing intimacy issues. But let's go ahead and take a look at the shadow deck. I want to see what was the cause of this. Yep. Unfair treatment. That's it. Like, life is unfair. This is what it feels like. This is like, you know, when you might have been the scapegoat in your family. Because I've noticed that for a lot of beautiful empaths who, in fact, are just... unfortunately, little children who were brought up in very traumatic circumstances, and they had to learn to really read the energy of the other person because the other person was unexpected, right? Unpredictable, rather. And it does feel like a lot of you guys were maybe in a place where you didn't feel safe. And you couldn't understand why you were being punished, why you were being screamed at, why you had to take the blame for somebody else. And it's just this energy of like intimacy being connected with something that's quite negative for you. Like, this is the way your subconscious mind has made this connection. So it's this vibe where you kind of just felt like, you know, life is unfair and people are unfair and the universe tends to be quite unfair. Which is true. Sometimes people are unfair. And there was a lot of, honestly guys, like, you have been through a lot, right? With the Knight of Blades, when it comes to universe, especially in this deck, and again, I don't know, whoever needs to hear that this is a trigger warning. You might have been subject of somebody mentally and physically hurting you for no apparent reason whatsoever. So for you, it's when you find those beautiful little lost, really really skinny puppies, and they're just like, and people are being nice and they're trying to pet them and give them food and save them, but they just sort of stop believing in like humanity. They just stop believing that somebody can be nice to them. This is the sort of vibe that I'm getting over here. Lovely option number 2. Like, you've been through so much, and even like if right now you're somebody who has a tough exterior, you're somebody who's incredibly self-sufficient, if you're being honest with yourself and you look deep down, there's an energy of like a child that was misunderstood, a child that never got a lot of care and attention and love and appreciation. And I want you to know, guys, that you're healing all of that. And you are, the universe is kind of bringing you a lot of situations, emotions, movies, maybe even pick a card readings like this, videos on YouTube, so that you can heal it, because we're social species and we absolutely need to be with somebody. I can't remember where I've seen it, but there's literally this thing where loneliness, it does actually have this mad effect on your health, in the sense that if you're lonely, I think they kind of said something about it's the same as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. Like, this is the sort of effect that it has on your heart. So it's this energy where your spiritual team and your higher self, however you want to call the power that's working with you on this one, is wanting to show you that there is a different family dynamic. It could be that you, my darlings, option number 2, you are somebody who is who has volunteered to stop a certain traumatic relationship pattern within your family. Yeah? You're somebody who's a game changer. Because you, with your beautiful mind and your beautiful heart, you're like, well, I don't want anybody to suffer the way that I did. And it could be that for a lot of you, you don't even want children, or you don't want a family, because like your associations are just that painful. But the consequences of your current actions, the consequences of your current decisions, are actually leading you towards a massive transformation, which of course comes from being able to challenge our beliefs, being able to face tough truths, and do the necessary healing. Like, it's not going to happen magically overnight, but it's definitely something that's going to be worth it. Let's take a look at how it's going to affect you. And there we go. It's bringing you this energy of being able to see how this whole situation has been affecting your self-esteem. Because when the angel of strength comes through in reverse, this is where we don't believe in ourselves. And this is what I started the reading with. And they're telling me that the source of anxiety is like somebody seeing the real you. And this is where you kind of don't believe that the real you is good enough, or the real you is lovable or likable. But they're telling me that you will see the connection between these two energies. And the consequence of your decisions to change that is this angel of love coming through. Now, when we're talking about the angel of love, this is a very good omen, okay? This talks about us putting in the effort to get to know ourselves first, okay? Because in this particular situation, you guys, maybe you don't know yourself, the real you, the authentic you. You know yourself from the perspective of how somebody was talking about you, but it doesn't necessarily mean the truth, okay? And here you're getting to know yourself, and you're getting to fall in love with yourself. Because let me tell you that children under the age of 3, they have no question whether they're fantastic or not. They just know that they're the bee's knees. Yeah, they know that they're the shit. They know it. Just on some level, they don't question themselves. Are they good? Are they bad? Are they skinny? Are they chubby? Are they talented? Are they not talented? They don't question that. But after the age of 3, then we start accumulating all this information. And if we're programmed to believe that we are a certain way, then this is what we start believing. And that's why a lot of people, when we reach this midlife crisis age, we're like, well, who the hell are we? Because you start realizing that you're not who you always thought you were. You're somebody else, but you're so lost because like you have a lot of riding on like this old persona. But with the angel of love coming through over here to let you know that you guys are going to be falling in love with yourselves first. And that will open a big door, big door, guys. They're literally showing me like this door of potential suitors. So if you've been wondering like all of this time, why am I single? This could be your answer. Because here they're showing me like literally people wanting to get to know you. And not all of them are going to be like falling in love with you, yeah? For some of you, it's about dates. For some of you, it's about working together. But they're all going to accept you because you accepted yourself. And this angel of love does talk a lot about being able to receive love and to give love and to see that even if you are homeless, jobless, at a certain age, I don't know, at a certain size, whatever, you are still so lovable. You're still whole. You're still complete. Right? Wholesome. I think that's the right word to use over here. Let me see what other consequences of your actions are coming through for you. Lovely option number 2. A plan, a strategy. A lot of you guys, there's this energy, like the consequences of your current actions, current decisions. Marriage abroad. Or like whoever needed to hear it, it's this energy of being married to somebody abroad, right? For some of you, you're going to be writing a book of your life story, a book that inspires other people, a book that might even become quite popular, and maybe there's going to be like some sort of video on it, or I don't know, you know, like a screenplay maybe? I don't know what it is, but the main thing is like the consequences of your current actions and your current decisions, guys, is that you're feeling whole, that you're feeling complete, that you're feeling that you're wanted, needed, desired, first and foremost by your beautiful selves. And then comes the rest. You're fixing your energy. It could be that right now a lot of feminines are in their masculine energy and vice versa, right? And here, like when this card comes through in reverse, it usually is an indication when there's the yang energy is dominant, which is the masculine energy. And the yin energy needs a little bit more nourishment, a little bit more, you know, yin is more associated with love, being able to receive, being able to give, rather than Try and conquer, try and take something. Couple of Lenormand cards for you, option number 2. I don't know if you guys seem to be somebody who's a wanderer, somebody who expects the worst, expects to have like difficult things coming through. It's the way that you think, and they're showing me that the way that you're thinking in the future is very different. And you will finally find a home. There's something about finding a home. Finding a home within yourself, finding a home maybe somewhere like abroad. And putting something to rest, finally putting something to rest. Something that was like a recurrent thing. And I don't like to talk about health in my readings, but they're showing me a chronic illness, quite possibly, over here. Overcoming a very difficult chronic illness. And with an anchor, finally settling down somewhere where maybe you weren't expecting to settle down. So that's what I have for you, lovely option number 2. I hope you enjoyed this reading, it resonated. Don't forget to claim its magic down in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, you know the drill, it helps the channel grow. And I of course appreciate your comments, I appreciate your likes, I appreciate your support. And yeah, if you guys are up for a personal read, do send me an email. The email's in the description box below. So is the link to my Patreon page with more exclusive content, additional discounts, and much, much more. So make sure to check it out. Alright, my darlings, take care of your beautiful selves now. Bye. Option number 3, and welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the sandstone over here, let's take a look at the consequences of your actions and of your decisions. What's the outcome most likely to be? Let's take a look at the rune that has chosen you. And you guys got the Solar rune, which is the energy of the sun. It's one of the most positive runes that's out there. The same way that the sun is one of the most positive cards in the tarot. So the outcome that you are going to get, the consequence of your current actions and current decisions, it has a lot to do with learning how to be happy, learning how to shine, learning how to create a healthy egoistic energy. Okay, and now a lot of you are thinking like, what, healthy egoistic energy? How can that be? Easy, you guys. We have to be self-centered to an extent. Okay, and I think a lot of you guys are empaths, a lot of you guys are somebody who was a giver, and it looks like over here, guys, you're gonna realize a very maybe harsh truth, but you kind of maybe had an impression that if you give to people, people will give you back, and you're gonna realize that's not the case whatsoever. There are people out there who are just going to take and take and take until you run dry. You might be thinking that the universe will give something back to you if you keep taking, like if you keep giving. That might always not always be the case either. So it's this energy where you're learning healthy boundaries, and healthy boundaries, they include having like this healthy egoism. And you guys are being more discerning when it comes to who you give your energy, your resources to, and what you're expecting in return. So there's definitely an energy where you guys are feeling more energized because you've learned how to manage this energy. You managed to do the whole giving and receiving in a way that it doesn't drain you, and in a way that you feel like you've given in the same proportion that you're going to receive. Okay, so that includes having enough money for the work that you've done. So it looks like you guys, my darlings, whatever it is that you're doing right now, you might not feel fulfilled. You might not feel like you're getting enough money. You feel like you might not be getting enough feedback. Or, if you have your YouTube channel, like you might not get a lot of subscribers just yet. Or you might not get a lot of people like giving their feedback. And a lot of people don't understand how hard it is to have a YouTube channel, how hard it is to stay afloat, how hard it is to, to edit the videos, to put in the time, and to not have people even like give it a thumbs up. But here it's this energy where people start appreciating you more, people start seeing your content as valuable, and they see you as valuable. And some of you might be cutting back on the amounts of energy that you give to somebody, right? For some of you, it doesn't always have to be a YouTube channel. It could be a relationship. It could be your job. Where you're cutting back, where you're literally cutting back because, you haven't had enough energy for yourself. And you're being unapologetic about doing that. And that's absolutely gorgeous. Because now you have the energy to do what you really love. Because over here, guys, the consequences of your current actions and decisions, what I'm seeing is you're happier, literally happier. You're more joyous. You have the time to enjoy, coffee in the morning. You have the time to enjoy the money that you've earned. And you guys are earning more money over here, yeah? With this, with the sandstone, with the gold stone, the sandstone. The energy where you're allowing yourself to sparkle and shine, where you're spoiling yourself a little bit, maybe for some of you not a little bit. But I think you guys were really wanting to create a more comfortable life for yourselves. And the funny thing is like, it's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. And this is what you guys learn over here as a consequences of certain actions that you're going to take, and consequences of the actions that have already been taken, and like you're looking at them and you're like, oh, okay, I see, it makes sense now. Because a lot of you were putting your heart, mind and soul into something, and you weren't given anything back. And you had to learn it the hard way. That yes, you can only give to people who appreciate it. You can only give people things that they can value. Because a lot of people, they don't see the value in something that you do because they don't see how much work goes into it. How much work, how much effort. And instead of trying to prove this to them, you just level up. And you are met by other people who see the value in your work, who see the value in your skills. So you're kind of having a more relaxed, laid-back lifestyle over here with the sun rune. And you're feeling happier. Let me see what was draining you with my shadow deck over here. Let me see what was really draining you. And what might be draining you at this particular moment. To be more specific. Transitioning energy. Yeah, okay, so for a lot of you, my darlings, it's the energy of being drained by actually, and this is absolutely heartbreaking, but I feel for a lot of you, it's being drained by the people you actually love the most. So for some of you, it's the vibe of being drained by the semi-relationship. Half of a relationship. Like I can't call this like a relationship, because it's sort of in between. So it's either you're dealing with somebody who doesn't know what they want in life when it comes to love, where they can't decide whether they're claiming you or they're not claiming you. You might be dealing with somebody who's still married or is married, yeah. Or you might be dealing with people who can only offer you very, very little. Like they don't see your sun. Or they can only take from you. And you keep thinking like they will see your value the more you give something to them. Your time, your support. And a lot of people here, they've just been like misusing you. Using you as their go-to person. using you as a source of support, using you as a source of their ego, like the fuel for their ego. A lot of you, my darlings, over here, you're actually very strong, but it's kind of like you have been redirecting your energy towards people and beliefs that weren't really serving you. Like you're incredibly loyal over here with the Nine of Wands, but you're loyal to the causes that don't nourish you. So it's kind of like you invested in something and you kept thinking, it's going to work out now, it's going to work out now, it's going to work out now, but it doesn't really work out. So the consequences of your actions and decisions over here is where, once again, you're reclaiming your power. So you're saying bye to this F-boy, right? You are putting down your wand and you're like, all right, I'm done. Or you start dictating your own rules and then the situation starts changing, right? Then a relationship or semi-relationship turns into a relationship, whether new or with existing person. And the Nine of Wands becomes more about affirming and claiming your personal power and strength rather than standing for something that doesn't mean anything to you. Okay, let's take a look at the Lenormand to find out how this is going to affect your life in more detail. Because for sure there's this energy of feeling happier, more abundant, and more, you know what I'm saying? It's like when you're just joyful, when you find joy in simple things. Making something official. When we're talking about the letter, we're talking about making something official. It looks like you guys are finally standing up for something, and I do feel like it's making something official, whether it's being married, officially married, right? For some of you, I'm seeing some good luck. I don't know if you guys are going to be winning some sort of, I don't know, green card lottery, or getting like really good grades on your exam. Like there's some really good news that are coming through over here, guys, that will have a very long-term effect on your life. And it's very official, like you're getting some sort of paper, some sort of proof of a work well done. Yeah, look at this, my darlings. For a lot of you, it's very much about relationships. Very much about love, very much about relationships, finding your, what you call them, soulmate, finding your significant other, meeting your future spouse. For some of you, it's relocating. Yeah. It's all, I mean, look at this. It's all about love. A love you've always envisioned. If, my darlings, you are somebody who has dreamt of a career as an actor, a career in arts, in music, they're telling me that this is something that you're going to get. Absolutely. So this is something that you wanted, something that you truly wanted, to be a singer, songwriter, composer, writer, artist. Did I say actor? Yeah, sorry, I have my like sinus infection and it just kind of makes me a little bit forgetful. But whatever it is that you truly wanted, your truest desire is coming through over here, and it has a lot to do with abundance. It has a lot to do with happiness. So the consequences of your current actions and desires the consequence of your current actions is your desires coming true, but it's desires of the heart. Desires of the heart. Show me more. The outcome of your actions, the consequences of your actions. Option number 3. I bet some of you are like asking me when. My darlings, this is a timeless reading. But I feel for a lot of you, no longer than a month. I mean, if we're looking at all of those numbers, they're all within a month. Maybe 32 days for some of you. Yeah. For a lot of you, my dears, there's an energy of, once again, having dealt with your self-esteem. Self-esteem, your belief in yourself, belief in your... because the angel of strength, this is the angel of the solar plexus chakra. And we're talking about the sun over here, right? The energy of the sun is all about being able to be confident within ourselves. And you guys are going to be, there's a lot of wealth that's coming through over here. And being appreciated. This is a big one for you. Being appreciated in relationships, being appreciated at work, being appreciated, you know, on social media. You do get this appreciation. Some of you might be working with cards. Some of you guys might be working with psychology. Some of you guys might be working with other tools of self-discovery. Yeah, self-discovery and healing and all sorts of beautiful things. With the 7th chakra energy over here. You're feeling more connected to your internal guidance system. You're feeling more connected to the universe. More connected to your purpose and to the creator, whoever you think this creator is. And it makes you feel good. It honestly does. You're no longer questioning why you're getting up in the morning. So that's what I have for you. Option number 3. Don't forget to claim the magic of this reading down in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. It helps the channel grow. Helps me see that you guys like what I'm creating. And there's, you know, this energetic exchange that's very much appreciated. If you guys are up for a personal read, do send me an email. The email is in the description box below. So is the link to my Patreon page with more exclusive content, additional discounts, and much, much more. So make sure to check it out. Take care of your beautiful selves now. Bye.